Hello and welcome to episode 13 of Nightmares Incarnate, a conspiracy of demons. I am your host, DM Dusk. One sec, let me turn my camera on. Quick, I didn't even realize. Back to me being in China, which I totally am right now. Just kidding. But yeah, we're continuing off with our players from last week where they have discovered not necessarily something demonic going on in the city of Entis, where there's quite a bit happening. Blaine's wedding is scheduled. We have a number of political shenanigans going on, but also the party is getting to know each other better, and yeah, we had a very dangerous fight where some people almost perished. Thankfully, the gods took mercy on their patron. What is the word for somebody who patronizes somebody? I'm actually like
Patronage?
Worshippers?
Yes.
Patrons?
Closer.
Worshippers? Maybe?
Yeah, okay.
Champions?
They're
Acolytes?
They're champions. We'll go with that.
Champions is good.
The gods took favor on their champions and decided to help them and assist them against the hordes of the drowned. And now we are left with a widowed woman who has come back and discovered that, well, to be frank, she has a dead husband who is an icicle through the brain, and a bunch of people she doesn't know in her house / tavern.
In fact, I believe Blaine or someone else in the party burned the corpse. It would be Ash.
Oh yeah. She has come back to ash.
Oof.
And we left off, Gilrock is currently trying to keep this Naga woman who is a worshipper of Xenarkthes, the Ten-Eyed Beholder, at hold. And yeah, unfortunately, Gerald will not be able to join us this week. He is away, but as always, check out his Patreon, Eye of Wonder. And so we're going to go through our players who are here with us today, starting with Chris.
Yes, hello, it is me again. I, as always, am playing Blaine. Haven't died yet, thank fuck.
Casper.
Oh. Yeah, I am Casper. I play Gilrock. I wasn't here last week, so I'm a bit. Apparently, I'm talking to a Naga snake woman, so that's fun.
And Jai.
This is Jai. Sorry about the slightly worse mic quality. I once again will be playing Damp Moss, the Drow Elf. And Gilrock, for your context, the Naga is currently charm personed, so she should see you as a friend.
Right.
You look like a good piece of lamb chop, essentially.
I always do, baby. I always do.
Hell yeah.
So we will drop back in with the party dealing with the ramifications. The widow is weeping on the floor. Baron has handed her some money, and Baytara is cautiously kind of staring at the group, waiting for them to leave.
Someone's talking. The music is talking. I think
know.
you need. Yeah.
I heard it. Ugh. We gotta go. We gotta escape.
Gotta run.
I will say Dentmoss, having left Gilrock to deal with his forte of talking to others, and having tried to console the Dragonkin lady to some extent, as much as he can in this situation, is just knelt next to her, offering a hand and a shoulder for her to lean on at this moment.
Damn, you're already trying to bag the newly widowed.
At this point, I think I understand the loss of a loved one and how that can make you unable even to kneel. So having that slight support, even from someone that you might see, even as an enemy at this point, it's just good to have someone who seems to share empathy, at least.
Yeah. I mean, it was a joke, but yeah.
Oh yeah, no, of course.
Babor will kind of come over to Farron and look at him, and ask, "Did the shove do anything? You bruised?" I'm fine. She just reacted out of emotionality. There's nothing to worry about. Will step forward and tap you on the shoulder, Blaine.
Well, I thought, what, didn't she walk over into a corner and was like crying?
She was, but she seems to have calmed herself somewhat.
Yeah, I was heading over towards her to kind of to comfort her. But yeah, if she turns around and pokes me on the shoulder as I'm walking towards her, then sure. But yeah, go ahead.
We need to get to the palace soon. I really don't want to.
Can I just embrace her as she's talking?
She leans her head into your shoulder.
Yeah. And I'm just like, I give her like a tight squeeze for a second. I know. We'll get moving as soon as everyone's ready to go. Are you okay on top of everything?
She'll shake her head. I have to get ready to be a ruler. Like my mom said, I can't cower from these sorts of things, but God,
It's good. As much as it sounds weird, it's good that you're crying over this happened. Empathy is one of the most important things about being a ruler. If you didn't feel anything, I'd be concerned.
she tells me sometimes that unlike my brothers, I can't focus. She'll fold her arms over her chest.
She's wrong. I'm trying to keep my language friendly, but she's wrong. I haven't even met your mum yet, but at least from the traits that I view from you, you seem the better person.
She doesn't know how to react to that. She'll kind of look at you and say, I don't know whether to punch you or kiss you for that. I'm being honest.
I think before you figure it out and I receive a slap on the side of my head, I think I'm gonna go gather the others, and I grab her by the hand and lead her further into the tavern so we can collect the rest.
As this conversation is happening, Damos will allow the wife to grieve and go and collect a few glasses of a decently strong alcohol, probably left on the counter from before the battle, and bring them
Nondescript,
over.
clear liquid.
Of course, and bring them over to him and Gilrock to share, to sort of loosen the palate in this scenario. Gilrock, not to interrupt your conversation, but you may want this as I reach out the wooden cup.
Just a little tidbit. It's the person like at the bottom there. That's the wife, right? That it's not the
Yeah.
woman. Yeah.
This is
The
Yeah.
red
the one.
carpet bit, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, as Damos comes in, he hears me say, "So you see, this is why you should consider being a vegetarian because it's actually way better for you. It's actually way healthier, and it's oh hey, damn, hi, oh yeah, thanks. I just pop the bottle without even looking and continue talking to the Naga about how she should turn vegetarian.
For you, I'd
'Cause-
turn anything.
Oh,
Wink.
well, yeah, that's great. So yeah, just furiously starts chugging. So damn, is anything else or
You're cock
I
blocking him.
just kind of. I think I lean in close to Blaine so that the Naga can't hear, unless she's trying to. I'm not specifically trying to hide it, and just say, well, all I know is that we are apparently going to stay at the castle, so perhaps we should try to be on our, how shall I say, best behavior? Stick close, we stay with Blaine, and it should work out.
all right, cool.
And I just start drinking while furiously facing the other direction from this conversation.
Roll me a wisdom save as she gets very graphic in her descriptions.
Me or
Be-
Gilrock?
You both can do it if Gilrock. I don't know if Gilrock would care.
I'll
Nah,
do a wisdom save, yeah, just for passively being there.
Gilrock's
I wish I was listening to just
Okay,
furious flirting.
17. Not bad.
Gilrock's turns a shade of red from like the things that are being said.
Damp Moss, you blush a little bit, but you manage to contain yourself from the absolute filth that is being said in your vicinity.
Just under my breath so that Gilrock can barely hear it. Oh wow, I didn't realize snake anatomy worked like that.
And then are you now leaving, Damp, or are you still standing in it?
I think in this situation I'm just going to stay on the edge of the bench next to you, but I'm fully facing the corner.
All right. Well, after she's made her graphic description, Gilroy comes with even more graphics descriptions, and it's just like, so you see, I can bend my leg over my shoulder this way, and I just start like going into like a sort of Pringles position. Just
Yeah, I
it's-
fold into a ball. I'm like nursing the drink deep in the center of my being.
Hey, Damp, look at this. Look. I can take my leg like this, and hey, you try it.
Uh, um, um, well, I, I, sure, I can try. That's, this is gonna be a con save, 100%. You hear my hip and my knee go as I
Oh
get
God.
it barely to my chest. Ow! Ah!
Oh man. Yeah.
I'll leave that to you.
Oh wow. Yeah, that didn't sound good, man. You okay?
Ah, I think I should have died in the last 12 hours. I'm going to
Sure.
finish this and yes.
Yeah, I see. You probably don't have this issue that much because being, being a snake, you don't really get your hip out of joints like he did right now. I'm guessing.
I
Have you?
technically I don't even have a pelvic girdle.
Oh wow. Tell me about that.
As that is going on, Baytara and Al will make their move to leave. Does anybody stop them or say anything?
Nope, I'm too far away to care at this point, I think.
I'm in a very important conversation right now. Very captivating. So yeah, I'm not. I don't notice.
Blaine.
Can I get you to roll a perception check for Latara? We'll see if she notices.
Sure. Perception. Not one of her finer skills, but not one of her worst either. 5.
Okay, I'm gonna roll my deception. I've got a +7 to this, so as long as I don't roll a nat 1, I should be fine. That is a 10, so she doesn't notice. Alright.
What are
Yeah,
you
nothing
doing?
happens. I'm essentially just like I'm studying the. Can I look at the whip as she's leaving? Like I'm trying to imprint what it looks like in my memory.
It is a thorny, two-pronged whip covered in small metal projections that wind up each side like lightning.
Okay, and is it like wrapped around her hip, or is it like just hanging down from the side, or like what is it?
It is wrapped at her hip, yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I just look at the whip, and what is her bodyguard's name?
Aloysius.
Yeah, like I just smile at him if he looks at me. I don't know if he does, but I'm trying to portray a more friendly attitude because she thought I wanted to literally kill her when I didn't, and I don't really know where she got that idea from.
Both of them will. Al kind of squints at you, and they both will go towards the exit. As they leave, Dr. Pillin comes back in, escorted by a male orc. The woman crying on the floor catches this orc cleric off guard. He's wearing white robes with golden accents. Over his bare chest, a pair of angel wings are brightly visible in silver tattoo. He has a hammer with the face of a dragon at his side and dark black hair tied back into a bun. And he kind of will look around at the scene and be like, what is happening here?
Uh, Honestly, I think Blaine is thinking to just let Farron handle this because he's tired.
And this is what he looks like for everybody.
Ooh, pretty hammer.
Kind of step forward and do a bow before Farron. My name is Inquisitor Hakin. He'll reach down and touch some of the black Icarus ink that is on the floor. Its iniquitous nature immediately causing him to recoil. As he stares, give me a second.
Bless you. Oh, he's coughing. Jesus.
Oh, that's a good cough. Nice deep in the chest too.
Yeah, I didn't want to cough mid sentence. So Hakeem will kind of look up and then look back down at the ink and say, Vizier, what has occurred here today? Baron kind of looks up at him. You can see bags under his eyes. There is an assassination attempt by some sort of criminal syndicate. The 10 Eyes, he says, almost sleepily. Babur kind of steadies him with one of his hands on the small of his back as Akin turns his horned head towards the rest of the group. And no survivors, he says, as he uses his tail to flip over one of the bloated, rotting corpses of the drowned.
Can I do a perception check to see if I hear him speaking?
Yes.
Cool. And it's audio, so... survivors? Yes. And I will just step slightly away from the table, knowing that they're charmed, not really hiding it. We have one here currently under our magical purview. If you wish for any more news, as long as they're willing to provide.
Can somebody tell me more about this incident? It's quite extraordinary.
I think I give like a slight head tilt of a bow and motion towards the other side of the room, knowing that both of the nobles here are over there, so...
As Baron steps forward and we were attacked by a group of assassins. I told her that they work for a but
Beholder!
Baron passes out onto the ground as Babor catches him in a panic.
I begin to rush over but stop about halfway, seeing that he is cared for.
Babor looks around. What's wrong with him?
Can I do a personal medicine check? Not towards what happened to him, but knowing that the only thing that ties us all together is the recent attack, whether it may be something that others may have go wrong, and focusing on myself particularly as, maybe I might be in danger.
You may. You don't feel anything wrong with yourself. You're not quite sure what it is.
I give a quick chest pat down to the middle torso. And just pay attention to what's happening.
You see a small trickle of blood beginning to emerge from the side of Farron's mouth as his fiery hair and beard diminish and extinguish.
With my medicine check, would Dampamos have any idea if healing magic could help or not?
You would need to get closer to him.
Okay.
It's probably a cure poison, I think, is what's needed. I think he might have been stabbed by one of the poison knives when we were under attack.
I think seeing him collapse, I would approach, but at a walking pace.
I'll say seeing Damp run out and hearing something of a commotion. I'll also have walked out to see what's going on.
Don't keep me waiting, she says with
Oh,
a way.
I gave a little courteous bow and was like, I will potentially see you later, but I will have to see if I am needed. But yeah, Blaine, you said maybe it was poisoned.
Yeah, you see Babor beginning to violently, not out of an attempt to hurt him, but out of panic, shake Farron's limp, passed out unconscious body.
Wait.
I like it. We both said at the same time. Babor, calm down. Open his clothes at his chest. I point to the fucking the Inquisitor. You are a cleric, yes.
That is my job.
Actually, I can help with this.
You've got
raise my
cure
hand.
poison.
I have protection from poison, so it neutralizes it.
All right.
So I pick up my lute, and I just play kind of like a soft, very comforting tune as I say, "Don't worry, you'll be fine." I'll put my hand on his chest, and you'll kind of see sort of a forest colored leaf colored glow around my hand that'll spread through from where I put my hand on throughout his body that will neutralize the poison.
Yeah.
As you do so, I think Dampmoss starts to get a little bit twitchy, and Gilrock and the Inquisitor, being the closest to him, would hear him start to mutter, I have minor healing, but I can't do anything for
It's fine. It's fine.
Yes, okay, thank you.
Yeah, so Babur rips open his chest. Not
That sounds
Wait, that's
Yeah.
very,
shirt. He rips open
very.
his
The
shirt.
chest of his shirt? Come on now.
the chest of his shirt, yes. And so exposing the skin beneath, and you see what appears to be some sort of needle like chitinous substance that is embedded beneath his pectoral. You knew what I meant, don't.
I can also just add that if there's more than one poison, it's I only neutralize one of them with the protection from poison, but from now on he will have resistance to poison damage and for an hour, and have advantage on saving throws against being poisoned another time if that would ever happen.
Hakeem will look over at between Damp Moss and Blaine and before stepping forward, and he'll place a hand that begins to sparkle with the light of Sultana, a silvery light coming forth from his hand, as he will pluck the hollow tube from Farron's chest and say, looking at it, this is a Trophane spine. How did somebody find this? None of their people live in this area.
Can I do an insight check on this woman right now?
Yes.
Well,
She seems pretty preoccupied. I mean, you're not sure, but
no, but like she's the only one who's touched him. Like recently, and now he's suddenly breaking. He wasn't like falling over and dying like 10 minutes ago when we were walking around after this happened. But she just touched him and now he's like falling on the floor.
I mean, it just might have taken a little time to like hit him, I guess.
anyone as he mentions the word Trophane can roll me an Arcana or History check.
Absolutely.
Me too. Arcana.
Arcana plus 4.
I'll do a history.
I'll do Arcana.
I got a 14.
Nat 1. I'm preoccupied by panicking about not having anti-poison spells.
Trophane are a race of fish humanoids that live in tropical swamps. They are extremely toxic. If one injects you with their spine, you'll be lucky to live at all. And this is something that is difficult to get a hold of, because once they use their venom, they have to regrow the spines themselves. So as Hakeem kind of holds it up studying, Babur will kind of turn his face and angrily kind of look at everyone and say, well, we need to do something now. If he's envenomated,
We'll bring him to the palace. I'm sure they'll have a solution.
Yes.
Babur.
Yes. The palace is the best shot. How close are we?
From the palace, it's a miles walk, but if we hurry, we should be able to get there within 30 minutes, but I'll need to stabilize
we best
him.
get moving. We'll do what we can. If you can do anything right now, please, I implore you to do so. If not, we should best get moving.
Hakeem will touch Farron's forehead, and you see that as he does so, some of the purplish red fluid that was injected is migrated out from his blood vessels and onto the floor. And Hakeem will back away and say, yes, we need to get him to somebody better. Thankfully, we have people in town who can fix this easily. Babor scoops him up in his hands.
I'll say to Babo, he should be okay for an hour at least for my spell. It should keep the poison neutralized. So we'll probably he'll be fine. Don't worry.
Babor will nod, kind of hastily pick him up and begin running. In fact, you all begin running towards the palace, eventually arriving at a monumental estate with several tree-composed houses, but also a central building walled around the forbidden city itself of Intis, with a central quarter. After rushing through, you end up in the center of the forbidden city.
As we are running, I will immediately from leaving the tavern quickly grip Gilrock's shoulder and say, the Nagi you have left charmed, she will be freed within the next half hour. And as Blaine, running with us, arrives next and can hear what we're saying, I grabbed him by the shoulder as well and say, is there anything we must do to stop her, or shall we let her free?
We could bring her with us so she could be imprisoned.
If it lasts the next half hour, she may make it with us, but be prepared for her to break loose the moment we arrive.
Yeah, most likely.
I just say, so we're taking her with us then?
It seems we must if we need more information. If not, then we can leave her to her own devices, but she will know that she has been charmed and she may inform whoever she works for.
I'll just shout back. You're for a trip? Go back to my place?
Oh,
I
you better believe
suppose.
I am.
Oh, let's go then.
I sleep in a cell.
Yeah, it might be a bit cold where we're going, but don't worry. It's just how I like it. Because, fur. Plus, you're
Alright.
cold-blooded, right? So that won't be a problem for you.
That's not okay.
Can
No,
everyone
that's not
see
how that works.
themselves?
Yeah. Yeah.
She's charmed. It's fine.
If you're
That's true.
cold-blooded, you need heat even
Yes.
worse than if you're warm-blooded.
Don't
Ah.
worry, Gilrock's very warm.
He's furry.
Yeah, exactly.
I am
Gilrock's
quite warm.
As
I am pretty.
you enter into the palace grounds, you see that there appears to be some sort of meeting of sorts going on, a practice session. In the distance, a dragon, two in fact that none of you recognize, stand massive. I need to increase the size, he should be even bigger. There we go.
Approximately how tall are we talking?
This dragon is at least 20 feet sitting on his haunches.
Oh, like actual dragon full size?
Yep.
Okay, cool.
And the
Good-
smaller
good
one
to know.
is maybe 10 feet tall.
Mhm. At first glance, does it appear to be a wormling or a small-sized dragon?
He is a small-sized dragon.
Cool.
The other one appears to be ancient with a wizened face.
Hmm.
In fact, Blaine would recognize a similarity to of this face to a priest he's met.
I wonder who it could be.
Alright, so you get to the palace, you kind of see that there's some stuff going on with the dragon over here. You can't, beneath the palm tree, you see Mehmet, Iscorial, an unknown tiefling, and some Gith, and one vampire, seemingly doing some swords practice. What do you do?
Even though this may harm the people close to me, I think I would stay a small distance back from the group, though it won't help much. And I will cast the cantrip Thunderclap, as that is heard from a very great distance.
It doesn't hurt anyone if you don't point it at someone directly. It's just going to be a very
No,
loud
if
noise.
they're they're not within 5 feet of me, and if I've dropped back a bit, then hopefully it won't, but I'm not going to say whether it will or won't. I will just cast Thunderclap in hopes to at least grasp the attention. If they don't realize what it is, they'll at least know it was magical and seek to see what happened. We will gain attention. I cast Thunderclap at the back of the group.
Describe to me how that looks.
As everybody begins to run into the courtyard, I, almost as a stumble, but almost on purpose to stick just far enough behind that I hope I won't hurt my friends, I reach behind myself, not far, my shoulders don't rotate that distance, but enough to draw energy, and clap near the center of my body, almost at directly the diaphragm, cupped hands, and just cast a small shockwave out from my body, releasing a sound that everyone can hear within the vicinity.
From that, considering we are running, I'll look back and just ask you, did something happen? You okay? Because all I heard was a loud noise, and he's behind us.
Your ears slightly ringing, you hear through the fog. Just trying to get as many people's attention as possible in short notice.
You hear a vocal roar as the blue dragon stands up and will fly almost instantaneously in this direction. He stares down his uneven crocodile-like snout as he sniffs you.
Is he within yelling range?
Yes.
Please!
We're missing Mina, I just noticed.
We have someone injured, possibly poisoned. If you could bring someone to help, we have 2 nobles with us. I swear it is on our honor.
The Vizier is injured.
Yeah, I don't
Possibly
know exactly
poisoned.
what to say here, so...
Yeah, the Vizier is poisoned. We need medical care immediately.
He smells you specifically, Blaine, and one of his eyes, yellow, a bright luminous yellow, kind of narrows a bit and says, "Smell for, but I do not recognize your appearance."
I had a facelift recently. Last time you saw me, I was probably deathly pale.
Said the Vizier is in danger.
He's right behind me. I just gesture, and like Farron is like 10 feet behind me.
Unconscious in the arms of Babur.
Babur will rush up. Great, sorry. Great Al-Ivine. Please, take pity upon him, please. I can't have him die, please, 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 please. Babur gets on his knees, and you see tears start to stream down his face. Don't tell him, but I can't have him die like this. I have things I need to tell him still.
I take Gilrock's hand for support.
Yeah, I just give him like routinely, just squeeze his hand, and then I whisper, "Don't try to touch this one's wings. It's not the time."
Oh God, he looks like he could eat me. I know.
Yeah, and he probably will. So let's just
Yes.
Almavaline kind of looks at Farron and says, "Close friend of Sultan." He sniffs his body and says, "Venom of the lionfish people. How did this happen?" He shouts angrily at all of you.
I
we were exposed
back
to him.
above Blaine's attempted gentle and true talk, like trying to get it across properly. I just say, "Do you not see that now is not the time? Time is of the essence."
I'll quickly just try and stifle you and be like, maybe not shout out the giant dragon, who's obviously a bit the authoritative one here, maybe.
I think you maybe stifle the last few words.
Yeah.
Almavaline kind of looks at you, Damp Moss, with narrowed eyes, but he nods, and you see him take one of his claws and gently touch Farron's forehead as he begins muttering a few words in Draconic. Does anyone speak Draconic?
Nope.
No.
No.
As you see a small, almost like a stove being turned on. The wisp of blue, fiery hair begins to return to Farron's head, and his beard begins to spread. As Babur kind of, he is a man without knowledge of his own strength. He practically squeezes Farron so tightly to himself. And you see Farron kind of stabilize as he begins breathing clearly again. But Almavaline's eyes turn to Damp Moss and he says, "Step forward, Brow."
I, not knowing exactly what he means, just push through the whole group, through the small gaps they have left, to stand near the front of the party.
He will back away a bit. "Do you know with whom you speak?"
I, through a mix of sheer intimidation and understanding of this person holds more power than I do, will drop to my right knee, my right hand sat across my stomach, my left behind my back but near my staff, and glance upwards from the bow. Unfortunately, I do not have the pleasure. I must first say thank you for tending to the wounds of my ally, glancing to the right. However, I must say I do believe my actions may be justified in the situation we are in, but, and now lowering down to my hands on the ground, but not forehead to the ground, just lower. I do understand I may have been impertinent in my wording.
Should be glad I am kind, dragon. You
And
to
for that, I
remember,
must.
dragons are holy, may not be gods. Closest mortals to them.
And I truly thank you profusely for your benevolence, now lowering my forehead to the tops of my palms against the ground.
In a display of intimidation, Almavaline leans his head up into the air, and you see the back of his throat begin to spark as he lets out a lightning bolt straight up that seems to reach towards the sky. He will, after finishing, he turns back to you.
I stay buried to the ground.
Stealth.
Sorry about that.
Okay.
Didn't mean that.
Oh, I was like, I don't know what your
Yeah,
stealth
no,
is.
I'm not hiding or anything. I just misclicked. Sorry.
And then he will look at you, Damp Moss, and he will say, "But I admire bravery." And speaking
I raise my head.
to an ancient blue dragon with such, he chuckles a bit, temerity. Although, I'm going to tell you now, never do it again. Earns you some slight favor to protect your friend, such as a noble goal.
I stand back to full and bow again from the waist, using the full decadence and prowess of someone well trained in being subservient to show that I truly understand what gift I have been given. in
I-
my life.
I am not done. The gift is not mercy, or killing you would have been pointless. You are not an enemy. I could smell it on you. But gift is, and he will offer out a paw to you.
If the closest part to me, nearing my chest, is one of his center claws, I will gently and slowly, almost shaking, reach a hand out and grasp it.
As you do, I need you to make me a con save. Because this is not in him trying to hurt you, but this is still going to hurt.
9.
Dampmoss, as he bestows you with the gift of lightning, you take 35 damage. However, you feel your body becoming one with electricity in a way that you have never felt before.
As I slowly
Passes
lose
out?
consciousness,
Yeah.
I feel trickling through my veins the power I glimpsed when we were on the boat traveling here, a magic that I have never truly been able to grasp as my own, the power of the sky.
And I would like
I
to,
feel it run through my veins.
yes, as the electricity crackles through your body, you are now capable of casting 3 lightning damage base spells at will per day.
Yeah, this is a good thing, but I can add that maybe Typhonius could have noticed that throughout this whole conversation, Gilroy was kind of, not showing it on his face, but very tightly like gripping his hands because he understands this is not a situation where I can speak up about it, but seeing someone kind of hold power over anyone, and especially Damp being a pretty close friend, not really enjoying him seeing like down on the ground groveling and such. So when he passes out, I'll run up and do a straight up third double cure wounds on him.
Almavaline kind of simultaneously taps Dampmoss with his claw and restores him to full health.
Well, he got 11 from me already at the same time.
So was that per day?
Yes, it's per day, per long rest.
Cool, just adding that to my Word document, lovely. And full HP from the dragon, and then
No, you don't get any
11
extra.
from Gilrock.
I don't think you get
Technically.
extra. I don't
No,
know.
not temporary, but like technically you healed me too. I'll
Yes.
just throw
Yeah.
that in.
Yes. You okay? Hey, man.
As I glance first to Gilrock, you see a slight crackle in the depths of my iris of something deeply in tune with nature but potent as I glance back to the colossal dragon before me. I thank you for the great gift you have bestowed.
Bravery is
Clinging to
worthy. Bravery is worth honor. And I respect those who are honorable. Just. He gives you a small, toothy smile. Remember speaking to.
After
Will endeavour to be more aware. Thank
Yeah.
you again, as I give a slight head bow but cling to Gilrock to stay standing.
after he's gotten up, I will, not having the most sort of knowing the courteous of how to act in sort of anything. I'll just kind of like raise my hand and to the dragon and say, "Excuse me."
Yes.
As
Yeah,
he begins to speak, I turn to Gilrock, look up at him, and just sort of clench my fist to a claw shape in front of him to show a gentle of electricity between my fingers. You see, a gift.
I'll whisper. I'll say, "Yeah, that's pretty metal, dude." But that's not what this is about. We have just being a bit preoccupied, like wanting to be excited for him, but big dragon in front of me. I'll say we have and I glance at the Naga. Unwanted companion. I say like kind of low so she doesn't hear. Unwanted charmed prisoner that here now, who will not be charmed any minute now.
What crime is she under?
What crime is she under? Because I wasn't here last time. She attacked us,
Assassination.
right?
Attempted murder.
Yeah.
Attempted
She
murder.
seemed to be the she didn't herself attack us because I, as you, charmed her pretty quickly. But she very, very clearly knew that we were about to be attacked by the people in the inn.
Then I'll point. Excuse me. To our now newly healed companion and say, we think that she knew what happened to him and the assassination attempt. That she may have been a part of it.
The dragon will kind of look around at the group. Hakeem will bow and nod and say, "It is true, sir. From what they say." Baron's eyes begin fluttering open, and Babor nods and says, She was one of the ones who attacked us." Mina kind of looks at Almavaline, who gives her a small, gentle smile and says, "Ah, one of my family members. Well, adoptive family." She'll step forward and kind of come closer to the dragon, and they begin speaking telepathically.
As this happens, I just turn to Gilrock, lean into him a little bit more, and just take the hip flask that I guarantee he has off his hip and just drink like a solid half of it, and then hand it back.
I will I'll let him do it, but I'll go in and lean. I'll say, there's not just alcohol in that, right?
Oh well, I guess fuck me.
Yeah, okay, let's get it, and then I'll look to the dragon again and be like, yeah, just again, not charmed for much longer, so restraints or anything.
You want me to meter out this punishment?
And then I'll say not necessarily, because it might be information. It's just you're the one in front of us, and yeah, I couldn't really say it to our companions.
Seem awfully strong and
You seem to be the one
require
holding the authority here, so
assistance.
Well, I hold what authority I have, but these are the Al-Ivine's land. I am merely a close family friend.
I
And if you could offer but a claw to assist in restraining this person, it would be very appreciated until an interrogator could take over.
Everyone step out of the way.
Of course.
yeah, I'll pick up Gilrock and just hop out of the way. I'll pick up Damp. I mean,
Babor
Pick yourself up.
will grab you, Blaine, and drag you backwards.
Even further back? Okay.
Yeah.
I'll pull Pillin with me as collateral.
Mina, knowing the woman kind of winks at you, Gilrock, and is like, "Ooh, is this a special? Are you trying to scare me?"
I'll say, hey, don't worry, baby. It might get real hot soon.
always wanted to try what King Cobra tastes like.
The final thing she
You
has.
see him. You hear a click in the back of his throat as he opens up his crocodilian jaws. A blinding blue beam of electricity is shot forth directly at her,
I'll shout, "Say cheese!"
and you see her sent instantly to the ground. As the dragon flicks its tail and says, "Going to want to stabilize her. If you want to get answers, she will die otherwise." Her body is now covered in crisscrossing lightning-like scars, each one going back and forth across her body.
I will reach out a hand, seeing something that I have not even come close to terms with yet, but a certain affinity for the lightning crackling through her body. A simple first level cure wounds to keep her alive as she heals for 7.
Do you bind
probably
her
just-
before you
Yeah,
do
we
that?
should probably
Yeah, I was gonna say.
No, I do not.
Okay, the charm is worn off, so she awakens after being healed for 7, uncharmed.
Sorry, this is on you guys now.
Can I
Yeah.
Can I immediately shoot her with Eldritch Blast so she's knocked down again?
Gonna kill her.
Yeah.
Can I? Jesus
26
Christ.
to hit.
That will hit.
11, so she's down again.
Yep. She wakes up and is about to attack.
Yeah. I look at Dan Moss and I just mouth, "You idiot."
Yeah, I slap him in the back of the head, and I'm just like, I get that you took my drugs, but come on, man. You gotta have realized that healing right then and there wasn't the best move. Come
I
on.
pull out another
I glance
manacle.
first. Yeah, I glance first to Blaine, then to Gilrock, and just go, and just say nothing.
Yeah, I pull out another manacle from my bag. It's kind of questionable why I'm carrying so many manacles, but yeah, I.
You know
lock
why
her.
you are. Don't play coy with us. You got your memories back. You know why you have them.
Gilrock
I-
raises an eyebrow.
I'm trying to be.
I
funny.
whisper
I'm trying to be
to
funny.
Gilrock.
Okay. Yeah.
Sees what Mina's into. Interesting.
I whisper back. You should probably shut the fuck up because she's right beside you.
Oh shit.
Mina,
Should he make a stealth check to see if he said that without her noticing?
I'm gonna roll Mina's perception.
All right.
Oh, I
please
have to
roll
do
high.
stealth then. Okay. Let me
Please roll
see.
high.
What's she rolling against?
Please roll
A 15.
low.
She has to beat his 15.
Please roll high,
Please.
Mina.
Roll
Come on.
16.
Ah!
Yes.
Mina
Fuck.
taps her foot, and with her horns, she'll gesture to the dragon beside her, who will just smile. She clearly hasn't said what you said to him, but you kind of get the message she's delivering.
Oh god, thank fuck she didn't throw me in the dirt. Okay.
You didn't
Yeah.
just say to the dragon, yeah, kill this one too.
I think I just cringe into Gilrock really hard.
I give Mina like a look like, sorry, you know. Just like, I don't know.
I manacle her legs and her. Sorry, she doesn't have legs.
She's
I manacle her.
the arms.
Yeah, the arms and I
To
actually.
the-
I tie the can I like tie her tail to herself
No,
essentially so it's
there-
like stuck to her?
There would be no way, because the way snakes would be able to get out of that.
Can your hog tie her tail to her hands?
You
Yeah.
can do that, but like there would be no way to do the other thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'll hog tie her tail to her hands so she's literally like a packaged chicken nugget now. And I'll stabilize her so she's no longer dying. And then I'll just start dragging her along the floor. Which way is the interrogation rooms?
Almavaline will say, "Leave her. Somebody will pick her up."
literally just drop her, so like she smashes face first into concrete.
This is sandstone. So,
Sandstone, yeah.
you son of a bitch! When Xenarkthes finds out about what you've done, you'll all have hell to pay.
Probably. But
Do
you'll
we know
die
if
long
that's the
before you see
name of
that
the
happen.
beholder, or did we just learn the name?
I know that name, but you
Okay.
don't, I don't think.
Well, I'm not paying attention right now, so that's fair.
Almavaline will kind of waddle like a crocodile forward back towards the group practicing, who have seemed to stop their practice to observe what has been happening. Blaine sees some familiar faces.
Yeah.
Nina will quickly run after the dragon and run up to her brothers, giving them tight hugs. And her father as well.
I think
No.
I just turn to Gilrock as we both realize how much magic we've used today and just go, share a room? Perhaps?
You're probably gonna you'll end up at the end of my bed in the morning anyway, so sure.
Wonderful. As I just like,
Hey! As this massive thing comes running to right beside us.
It stretches out its long neck and it has a toothy grin on its face as it says, "Hi! Are you guys coming over? I'd love to meet you.
Coming over where?
Over to everyone else,
Yeah,
where the party is."
Of course. Just
Yes.
give me a sec. I have a little thing I gotta say. I'll run over to the noggin and I say, yeah, we're gonna this date. You're just not my type, really. So so we'll talk, okay? And then I'll go back.
I genuinely thought you were hot, but you're gonna die first now.
Hey, don't hate me just because I'm beautiful, baby.
I just shout over this. Well, I mean, killing him first is fair. I mean, no, don't do that. Oh,
Yeah, when you
Gilrock,
say that, I'll look at you
exact.
like what? Yeah, I'll look at you like what the fuck, man.
Ooh, winged person. Oh, a winged person. I've never seen winged man before.
I even in my stupefied state run over and like stand directly in. Is this a wormling or
And
a
no,
crystal
a
dragon?
young crystal dragon. He is not tiny. He is.
Then I stand like fully under the right wing, close to the main body, and just go. I look up and just go. So you also understand the glory of having wings?
Well, of course. It's what makes us. It's what makes winged creatures special. Bet you wish you had these wings. He folds out his giant purple wing.
I'll whisper to Typhonius.
If you wouldn't mind,
Tackle him. Do it now. Tackle him.
I can't quite stand. I've used a fair amount of magic. If I could sit atop even your tail or possibly your back, I wish to fall
As they were talking, I'll have whispered to Typhonius, "Oh god, there's two of them," and then I'll run up to Damp, thinking this may be potentially someone also very important, and hearing him say, "Can I ride you?" I'll take my friend and fuck it, I'll cast. I'll use Mantle of Majesty as a spell I have and cast Command, and I say, like back to Adam. So it's a Wisdom save of 16.
Wisdom save of 16. Okay.
Oh, he's
Yeah,
got a +7
Wisdom
to that
save, my
shit.
highest. Yep.
yeah. Come on.
Oh, I
Hey,
just fail.
yeah. So
As I
I'll have
stand
grabbed
behind
you.
Gilrock.
Yeah, I'll have grabbed you, grabbed like on your shoulder, and just say back.
My eyes go slightly slack, and I just kind of like hold the
Oh.
back of your jacket like a small child.
Oh, I'm not like my dad. I'm not a fuddy duddy. You can sit on my back. I don't care.
I
Okay, so what did you use, Casper?
I use command, so it's just I just commanded you to get back.
So a single command of me to get back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, then in which case I immediately look up at the crystal dragon and seeing the gentle shine of the gemstones embedded into its skin, the beautiful floral wings that glisten in the moonlight, I just walk straight up and go, "If you wouldn't mind," and begin to climb on top.
Yeah, I'll get in on this then. I'll be like, hey, if it's cool, then I'll hop on as well. If it's, I'll be like, can I also come? Can I join?
Why not?
Hell yeah, let's do this.
As long as he points at Babor, not to be mean, but he looks pretty heavy.
As I begin to fall asleep, now laying on top of a winged creature, which, it's my deepest dream, I just start to gently brush my hand across the crystalline scales and go, luckily I'm very lightweight, as I fall asleep.
Oh, you must be Mina's new husband. Oh, it's nice to meet you. Hi.
It's very nice to meet you as well. What is your name?
My name?
Yes.
Ariane.
Farian. It's very nice to meet you. I'm Blaine. I come from Kalia, so I'm not from around here. Have you been?
No. But
Oh,
I could fly there if I wanted to, I guess. I don't know what your people think about dragons. By the way, Orcman. Babor. Orcman.
I tap Babor on the
Yeah,
shoulder.
I'll be like, hey, Babo, I think they're trying to get your attention, man.
Babor is like staring at Farad and it looks up and then the sapphire dragon goes. The amethyst dragon goes. So are you two dating?
It's another
Yeah,
den- it's another dense character. It's another tie. Oh my god.
He's so cute, though.
you'll
Let me ride him.
hear from the top of the dragon, just like you know when you're laughing and you're trying to hold it in, but it still comes out as like a snort. Yeah,
Trying to
just
stifle your laughter.
yeah, just oh
Begins to tune the lute.
Yeah. I can read thoughts. It's kind of a interesting ability.
oh
Oh dear, you can see how very interesting.
damn, shut the fuck up.
You sound like you're coming. Like what the fuck
Yeah,
are you doing?
Yeah.
Damn, yeah, I'll be like hey, damn, just go to sleep, and I'll start playing like a slow little tune on my lute, just dude.
He
As
point.
I fall into deep unconsciousness, I just reach up and tussle Gilrock's hair and say, I'm so glad to have met a friend. As I fall asleep.
I'm everyone's friend unless you're mean, and then I'll kill you
Uh,
and eat you.
hey,
But
that sounds fair. That's pretty fair.
but that one he points at Pillin. He's addicted to marijuana.
Oh hell yeah!
I just look at Pillin. what
He
does
he
Pillin?
shrugs.
I mean, it's true. I mean,
I point at Pillin and point back at me and like you signal like later.
But anyway, you should tell him. I think he'd be into you. I think it'd be cute.
sorry, is Farron knocked out right now, or is he
Yeah,
just like
Yeah,
he's
he's
knocked
like
out.
past that.
Okay.
Babor puts a hand over his face. We're not of the same noble class. I can't just tell him. He's ranks far above me in the hierarchy. It would be unbecoming.
Ooh. I put a hand on Babor's shoulder. Babor. Love knows no bounds. If you're interested in him, you should pursue it.
Babor pauses and thinks for a second. And then he chuckles softly under his breath. Am I really that obvious?
Me being crude, shouting from the back of the dragon. I knew from day one, my man. Come on.
Maybe while we're here, I'll at a celebration. I'll think of something.
Love is in the air.
I'll say you got it, man. I'll give him part inspiration.
Yeah, the amethyst dragon kind of turns to you, Blaine, and it tilts its head as its smile disappears. What is this? You are two people in one?
I was one person. I am now another. And I do realize what you're seeing, and I will tell you of it if you wish to know. But let us not ruin the celebrations of Mina seeing her dad and brothers in a while.
Yes, everyone get on my back, except for the orc because that armor's too heavy.
He's calling you fat. I whisper to Bubble.
Fat, he says, and he pounds his chest. I am 340 pounds of pure, unadulterated muscle. Do you know how hard I work?
How much I can bench.
Yeah.
Never,
I'll
ever
bench
skips
you,
leg
bro.
day.
Yeah, I'll bench you, bro. It's like look at the yellow dragon.
Get on my back.
Everyone kind
No.
of will try to fit on the back of this dragon as you leave this Naga woman in the middle of the pathway.
Gilwalk will look at his pretty like thin arms and just be like, muscles. Wonder how that's like. Hmm. And I'll ask the dragon. You said there was a party.
Oh yeah, we're having a wedding
Oh,
in about a week.
oh.
For Mina and Flying Man, and everyone's gonna be there. The Sultan's gonna be there. A bunch of people are gonna be there. It's gonna be crazy. And then
God.
you see, yeah, he's just babbling basically.
Yeah. Well, he will then be able to read the thoughts of Gilrock, thinking, "Okay, palace wedding. Is drugs okay?" Just thinking like to himself, like, "Can I do drugs?" And
How
or is
many
that like how fucked up can I get, or before I'll get like arrested?
single highborn wenches will show up?
You
Well,
get a
almost.
telepathic voice in your head saying, "I would caution you to avoid doing it. If Mistress Beja catches you, oh, you'll be in great trouble."
I'll think about that and I'll be like, fair. Yeah, okay, maybe I shouldn't, but maybe I will. Just in my head, like in my head, and then I'll give a little wink back to the dragon. Just we'll see.
He comes back over next to his father. And yeah, you see Mehmet and Mina, Iscorial and her father talking. Githyanki kind of standing at a side, and a single Strigoi vampire with a mask on is kind of watching. Their swords laying on the grass and sandstone.
Damp is on my back now. And how heavy are you?
Ooh, let me have a look.
Just quickly, because I don't have the highest strength stat.
I'm 120 pounds apparently.
That's not that
So,
heavy.
like,
Yeah, it's not that. It's like 50 something kilos.
approximately, yeah.
Yeah, so he'll be like on my like back, but you'll see clearly that after a little while, I will start to be like a little struggle a little bit, but I'll manage. I'll be
You
like,
are
ah,
feeling a very, very gentle, almost like you know the electric stimulation
yeah,
machines? Like a
yeah,
very, very gentle electric hum through where you're holding me at the moment.
yeah. I'm just standing there, kind of struggling, but holding on. Just I'm not gonna drop this guy in front of the dragons. I can't.
Mm-hmm.
As you approach Blaine, Akarsi will come over and he will like look at you, and then he has like an angry face on his face, and he says, "How dare you enter my palace?"
Blaine just kind of like squints his eyes. I'm
Without announcing that my new son-in-law is here, and then he slaps you on the back.
just like straight confused. What? Okay.
And
Uh,
he's like, you see, that was a joke. I am very good at jokes. My children tell me so. Lauren
it was
doesn't think I'm very funny, but I think I'm hilarious. Anyway, it is lovely to meet you.
I'm
it is very nice to
unconscious
meet
and
you
I
as
love
well.
this guy.
It is very nice to meet you as well. I put up my hand and I give him like a formal handshake.
Yeah, he extends his hand back and he says, I'm surprised she was able to find a husband so quickly. We expected her to be in Illicir for several months, and perhaps having to go overseas, but you're a new noble in our country. We've struck proverbial gold, he says, and he slaps you on the back again.
That's a point of damage, definitely.
Yeah, it is a point of damage.
Wait, take a point of
Double
damage.
back slap within 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
He is very strong.
Yeah, alright, I've taken a singular point of bludgeoning damage as I cough because he hits me like straight on the spine.
Yes.
Right. Yeah, I feel I've struck gold as well, just in another way. And I look at Mina and I just smile at her.
That's
But
right,
it is
you. That's right, you
Oh,
did. Mina's so talented, so skilled. The way she's followed in the footsteps of her brother, it's absolutely amazing.
she impresses me every day. I learn something new.
Now, if only someone could be more like his sister. And Matt rolls his eyes. Escorial just awkwardly stands there.
I smile at the what's his name? The father.
Yes.
What is his name?
Akarsi.
Yeah, I smile at Akasi and like I'm gonna go say hi to your sons as well. But it's been a pleasure to meet you.
Oh, you think we're done? We were preparing a feast for you. Unfortunately, we animals. We don't really like killing those, but we found some vampires to help out with the fish and etc. Is spider blood okay? We found some spider blood in the catacombs.
I start to blink back awake on Gilrock's back and just start to gently, while still holding him with a good arm or so, get back to my feet.
Whisper back. Thank you. You were getting heavy. And then I'll look at Gerald being at a whopping 11 hit points and just be like, "Are we going on are we going on a feast right now? Because I'm pretty tired, and you don't look so good, man. I think you should get to bed."
So, Gerald looks at you, crosses his arms over his chest, shrugs in typical Gerald fashion.
Fair enough.
I've had worse wounds. I can't do the accent. Somebody
Yeah.
say it.
Yeah.
You're fine.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
For the sake of if we are doing a feast, I'm going to use my only 4th level spell to cast Healing Spirit. I can heal 5 times 3d6, so I'm just going to roll all 5, and Gilrock and Gerald and Ty will split however much the 5 is between them.
Okay.
You can say that as Dan was clambering down from my back, I'll have just quickly been like pointed like slightly in front of me, like Mina's dad, brothers, Blaine's new stepdad.
Okay, so 23, 33,
Fucking
46.
ow. Oh,
50 total divided by 3. Figure that out somehow.
I got it.
That's about 16 each.
I got an elbow shock. I banged my elbow into my desk.
I was not sure what the problem.
Yeah.
Fucking ow. My entire
About
arm
16
is doing
each.
the humming right now. Ugh.
I will say that the healing spirit looks like
Moss.
yeah, it looks like fuzzball, but
Hmm.
slightly larger and glowing with a sort of green light as he skitters between those who are wounded before returning to me and vanishing into fuzzball.
Oh god, I thought of something. Does Fuzzball essentially look like a cordyceps spider? If you've seen those, like the mushroom that infects. Sorry,
Mm-hmm.
the
Yeah,
it's the mushroom that infects the spider. Ugh.
He would.
absolutely.
Ugh.
Yeah.
I would assume it would look different because it would be symbiotic. It's a moss, not a
Yeah.
Yeah. So
mushroom.
he's like a black widow spider if the entire abdomen was covered in a layer of like small fuzzy moss. So imagine if you all know Lord of the Rings, the massive spider that bites Frodo,
Yes,
except covered in moss and about the size that it could sit on my shoulder easily.
Got it. Okay.
but that's a. I'm sorry to break it to you. That's not a black widow. That's a tarantula.
Yeah,
Well,
I was about to
there
say.
we go.
Shield.
Tarantula covered in moss. He can't jump or anything. Oh no, wait, no. We did agree. Jumping spider. Okay,
Yes,
I
we did.
lied.
Yeah, it's It's a
Jumping
jumping thing.
spider, covered in moss, and very, like, palm-sized. There you go.
Very tiny.
And this version is glowing and separate to the main one, but returns to him when he's done healing.
Very nice and very descriptive. Do you say anything to the Gith or the Al-Ivine sibling slash dad? Ty is going to go talk to the Gith.
Are you
Me.
speaking to all of us or Dan Moss specifically?
Dantmoss and Gorak.
I'll go chat with the brothers.
As I wake up and begin to step onto my own feet, I say to Gilrock, but very loudly, "Oh, well, Gerald and Ty, and, well, you, Gilrock, yourself look a little worse for wear. I'll figure out something or other," as I cast the magic and cause the spider to appear at my feet. And I think at this point I'm still just kind of following Gilrock, just to, if he goes to talk to people, I'll be there, not necessarily talking first.
Ty turns to you when you do that, gives you a thumbs up, and then unironically says, "You know, you're the coolest, weird, creepy dude I've met. I really like you."
Well, I very much appreciate that. Weird and creepy is part of my forte, so being cool is an added one.
Yeah, I'll just do a yeesh, and then I'll say hello. So so you're Minos brothers. Very nice to meet you. I am Gilrock. The now creepy but also cool dude behind me is Dampmoss. It's a pleasure, and I'll take a hand out.
Yes, hello, as I give like my half bow.
Mehmet kind of swirls his glass of wine and will take a deep drink from it as he bows himself, one of his forearms kind of searching his pocket for his watch, which he looks at briefly before tucking it back away. Escorial kind of looks to you and smiles gently and gives you a nod as he says, "It is a pleasure to meet you as well. I am Escorial Candace Al-Ivine, and I am sorry, and I am Mehmet Destiny Al-Ivine. It is our pleasure."
Yeah, and as I said, I took a hand out. I'll just do the one where you'll take take it through your hair, just like left me hanging.
They both extend one of their forehands
Yeah.
to you.
Yeah, I'll do like I'll take my left hand and make like a cross with my hands and take each of them and be like, yeah, I'm Gilrock Flarehands. Very nice to meet you. I yeah. I just Is Mehmet having any sort of instrument by him? Because I see he's a bard. Or
Yeah,
is he just chilling?
he has a lyre.
A lion, and I'll point at the lion. I say, "Hey, nice piece, man. I got this one myself, and I'll take out my lute and just do like a string on it."
He'll smile at you, and then he'll dart his eyes over his bright blue eyes over to his dad, and then back to you, and kind of says later under his breath.
And I'll do like a thumbs up, like, yeah, great. So how's your guys' days been? We came in with a bit of a hurry. We had a bit of a crisis, but it's all sorted out now, thanks to the big blue dragon over there. What have you guys been up to?
Escorial will clear his throat and say, "Should refer to him by name."
Yeah, I didn't get that. The name. What was it again?
Amalvine.
Amalvin?
Yep.
Amalvin? Yeah, and I said, oh yeah, of course, Amalvin. He helped us out with our wounded companion.
Melvin.
Huh?
Nothing.
What?
Anyway. And
It is Almavaline, yeah.
Amalvin?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry.
all good.
I said the right one, we'll say. Well, yeah, I still have the question. What have you guys been up to? What were you talking about before we came in, bustling in there?
We were having swords training with our father.
Who was winning?
Escorial will give a smirk. Mehmet pushes him and says, "You are not winning. You just thought you were winning because you had me penned, but I could have easily come out of that position." "Oh, I'm sure you could have. It would have been so easy for you." "Tell me, Mehmet, how would you have done it? A repartee of the whip, or you're going to huck your lyre at me?" Mehmet smiles and says, "Well, if you weren't so focused on your own beauty this morning, we would have been out here sooner to practice. Maybe I could have had more time to figure it out." "A nobleman must always look his best," he says as you see the eyeshadow around his eyes.
Yeah, that I'll look down at my haggard, bloodied clothes. Look back at that moss and be like, yeah, I think we're a bit underdressed. Yeah,
While I
sorry
look
about that.
fully healed as of the dragon's intervention, I
Yeah,
am
but did he
still...
fix your clothes?
Oh, your clothes are
Oh,
still
I'm
a mess.
very, very tired and torn to pieces, yeah.
Yeah. So I'll be like, yeah. Wish I could say the same, but as you can see, we're not looking. I mean, we're feeling great, but we're not looking too good right now. We had a bit of a tussle, but it's all good, you know.
I give you like a very, very gentle shoulder to the arm, like trying to imitate what I just saw the brothers do with the like playful punch, and just give you like, you barely even feel it, and just go, "Well, never underestimate a bard, I say."
I'll be
So,
I'll look back at him and be like, which one of us? There's two.
uh, uh,
Just oblivious to the whole like kind of awkwardness of that. Just be like, oh, which one? Who are you talking to?
Akarsi turns around at hearing that and says, "There is only one bard here. My son is training to become a fighter, as per what he should be doing."
yes, of course, my liege.
"This is not your problem." "Well, we do have another bard, but he's actually good at performing."
yikes.
Yeah, I think I
I'll
don't
give a
quite
look.
suppress the cringe on my face as I hear that, like that slight side grit of the mouth.
Mina, and then Ascari comes over to Mina and says, "Oh, my dear princess, tell me more about your future husband." And he drags Mina over here, and she's like uncomfortable with the energy that is going on right now.
Just straight up vicious mockery at his own son, and then it's
Yeah.
like, I want to talk.
I'll give Mehmet. Is it Met? How do you pronounce that name?
Mehmet.
Mehmet.
Yeah.
Mehmet. Yeah, I'll give Mehmet like a look, like just like raise my eyebrows, and be like,
Mehmet.
Mehmet, just kind of like shrug because I don't know the whole context of that. Just be like, "Oi," awkward. And then I'll take just take Damp and stand beside them here and look at the this potentially very cozy to talk in front of with Blaine, Mina, and new stepdad.
All right. So the new stepdad approaches and like wraps in his arm around your shoulder, Blaine. He is wearing heavy armor, so it is very cold as he does so.
Right.
Um,
I'm just, yeah.
and Mina smiles at you and kind of she gets a blush of embarrassment as her dad will begin gushing over her achievements. Did you know she could read before the age of 3? It was absolutely amazing. You should really see all of her talents. She is quite the artist. Oh, we should figure out what you came here for to begin with. I'm sure Almavaline did not intervene for no reason, but oh, I'm just so excited. You have no idea. Blaine, I want you to roll me a perception check. Actually, everyone can.
14.
8.
You
What
rock.
am I rolling, sorry?
Should we roll for the NPCs as well?
I will. Baron is still passed out. Babor.
Perception check. Is this hearing?
Nope. It is sight.
How late is it in the day?
You are about 3 o'clock, maybe.
Oh, then disadvantage, cool. Damn, that's not a good start. Cool. So, 10.
Right. Does anyone meet it? Damn. Oh wait, disadvantage. That's right. Babor sees who's coming and kind of just gives a curt nod of his head. And you see Hakeem get to one knee. Zagrav does the same. And Ascari is just chatting you up, Blaine. He is like,
Do I see her behind him?
not yet. She's coming.
Right.
But
I
you
think me
you
and
can't.
Gilrock are just whispering about the whole situation.
Mehmet is
Not
it.
paying any real attention.
Just
Mehmet,
gossiping.
Mehmet is in on this circle. He is talking to you
Yeah.
about his favorite strains of marijuana.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
also part of this conversation. Well, you see, certain type of mosses, in fact, have an influence on the mind. As the conversation continues.
I'm just I'm just talking to Mehmet like, yo, this already. I talked to the son, and he said that there's someone we should not do it in front of. So do you have like a place we could go to, or something like that? I don't
Oh,
know.
you better believe I know all the places we should
Oh
go
hell
to.
yeah, bro! That's gonna be so good, man. Oh,
Just frat bros.
As
more stoners.
as she approaches, a woman with long white hair, a veil, a stern, icy look on her face, 4 arms, and a pair of twin tails, approaches and clears her throat. Ascari quickly turns around. Dearest, hello. We have been graced by the presence of our new stepson, and you didn't think to take the time to get me. It is not intentional, of course, as you are well aware. I mean, you know that I was very excited to meet him. I'm sure you were. You see this middle-aged woman approach you. She has a few wrinkles that are covered up by makeup, but in general, she still has much of the beauty of her youth. She casts a glance at Mina, and you can see telepathically something go through Mina's mind as she turns her eyes down to the floor and kind of holds her stomach in embarrassment. And then Beja will look at you and kind of do a curtsy with her long flowing robe.
I do a specific Kalian bow, and I say, "It is a pleasure to meet you, my lady."
You have made quite a name for yourself in quite the short amount of time. I hope that your ambition is matched by the wherewithal to back it up.
I just smile at her. Something very special is coming up. I think you'll be quite pleased by what you'll see.
I am pleased that my daughter, who should have had an engagement years ago, has found somebody, and that they happen to be noble. So I am already quite pleased. But if word is to be believed from my servitor Abdullah, there was an incident today that I have been left in the dark on regarding some sort of murder.
A woman, a dragonkin, was killed at the local marketplace today. Um, I look at her and if she'll accept it, I'm gonna send a message to her by just like basically like pointing one finger at her from like the like down at the side of me. Um, and essentially it makes it so no one else but me and her can hear it. And I say by the what was it, Ten Eyes Guild?
Yes,
Yeah, by the Ten Eyes Guild. We have two of their people in custody. One is the woman laying behind me, and I'm putting a finger like up over my shoulder, and another one should be in one of your interrogation rooms as we speak.
the undead.
Yes, the drowned.
He proved useless. Can scarcely hold a conversation.
This one, however, definitely can.
And she'll
And
kind of look at you and say, your outfit is very non-traditional for Kalians.
I have been traveling quite a bit. I've been to some of the colder parts of our planet, so I needed clothing that was suited for all weather and not just the warm.
Of course. Well, you are prepared for the wedding, yes. This will be your
Yeah,
debut event as a new emir.
I am prepared, and I have a special surprise in store for the day.
She kind of raises an eyebrow suspiciously at that. And then she'll look over to Mina and then she says, daughter, would you please go to the barracks? I believe some exercise would do you good after that boat trip. Mina looks down at herself and kind of frowns. She'll begin walking away. She'll look back at you, Blaine, give you a quick kiss on the cheek before going. Ascari gently touches her shoulder, but Mina kind of shrugs it off.
Can I make a stealth check as I, having now at this point realized someone of in my opinion, the greatest social standing here has arrived. I will have dropped to a knee, right hand across my chest to my heart, left hand behind my back, but I am trying to hide having been told that my attire is not suited for the situation.
I'm
Yes, you
still
can.
standing, talking to Mehmet.
Technically, Farron. Well, actually, the dragon is the person with the greatest social standing in the area.
Ah, well, to someone from the Black Roads, women
Yes.
are of the highest standing. I would view her as someone who I should pay most attention to.
Well, she is exceptional in that compared to most Tianese women, she has a lot more power.
Well, I
And
rolled a 15.
yeah, she does not notice you
Good.
yet.
I stay on one knee and do not say anything, head lowered to the sandstone ground in front of me.
Scorial will come up to his mother, and you see her face soften in comparison to how she looks at Mina. And Escorial says, "Should be more excited, mother. After all, this is everyone's coming. We're going to have quite the event here." Oh, sweetheart. I understand. I'm just in a foul mood due to the things concerning the city and the stupid cult. Yes, of course, mother. I think Mina's probably earned a day of relaxation, though, don't you think? She stiffens and she says, We wouldn't want her to look improper for her wedding day, now would we? She needs to fit in that dress properly." Akarsi rubs the back of his head awkwardly. Do you do or say anything, Blaine?
I think Blaine just kind of closes his eyes for a second and he bites the inside of his mouth so hard that like blood is coming out at like the bottom of his mouth and he just like sucks it down his throat before he opens his mouth again and like presents the smile again.
So, charmed, she says as she'll reach out one of her hands.
Yeah, I bend down and again in Kalian fashion I take it and I kiss the top of the hand, not like the ring, but I kiss the top of the hand.
She'll
It is
smile.
my it is my pleasure.
Excellent. Well, I suppose I will have that woman escorted to the room for torture and interrogation. And then execution. Are you going to want to continue dealing with this cult problem, or I've heard you did quite a bit for Bahir and Illicir from what my sons and Akarsi have told me.
That depends. Do you want our help? And this is framed as like a political question, whether she wants to look, how she wants to appear. Like, does she want my help specifically?
She's gonna incite you. And
Well,
then
it's not like a rude question. It's just I'm
I
I'm
know.
testing her
She
just as well as she was testing me.
if well, I mean, you're a fellow nobleman, so I don't see a reason to refuse your help. But this is an Entis problem, and I expect it to be taken care of with Entis solutions. I don't want too much noise made.
I kind of like crane my head a little bit. So is that a yes?
Ascari will interrupt, Akarsi will interrupt and say, indeed it is a yes. We are in dire need of trying to get this rabble off the street. Beja kind of looks over at him with a bit of annoyance, and he shrinks a bit. You can tell that just her glance, her icy blue eyes are intimidating. But
Yeah.
Akarsi smiles at her and will try to. He gently kisses her cheek, which causes her to be a little less on edge. As you notice, her icy facade melts slightly. Darling, you don't need to worry about every single thing. I'm sure it will all go over fine. We're not even in a land dispute. What are you worried about? That causes her to tense up again, and she'll turn to you, Blaine, and says, "Your sister's coming, isn't she?"
She is indeed.
Well, we're going to need to make sure everything's in tip-top shape. Your wedding will be part Kalian and part Tianese. I have assured of that much. And my daughter will be looking perfect for it, so you need not worry about that.
She already does. And I just smile at her, and I'm like, I hold eye contact with her. Like, I will not remove my eye contact before she flinches and moves. It's essentially
She
just
is
like a
going
down.
to also stare you down.
Yeah. Con save who can keep their eyes
Yes, the
open.
con save who can keep eyes open longest.
All
Will
right, come
not
on.
blink.
I'll
While you're doing that, I can say that it kind of Gilroy just from
Yeah,
the
okay,
way.
yeah. I open my eyes even more, and I just like full intense look at her, still with the same smile though.
What were you saying, Gilrock?
Yeah, no, I just said I've just kind of been observing the whole situation, understanding that like this is of course, the one in charge of these people, but kind of reacting to the way she was speaking to me and just having like a raised eyebrow and just kind of looking like trying to figure out what's going on and the way she's speaking to Blaine and this entire like why he wouldn't say anything back is I wouldn't get this whole political tiptoe dancer of everything. So I'm just kind of observing, and then I'll say to Mehmet, whisper like, "Why are they staring at each other?"
With me, like, full knelt
Yeah,
down in front of you, staring at the floor.
yeah. I've just kind of gotten to the point where it's like
He's
he's probably looking for moss or something.
Mehmet.
You did drink my drugs just now, so I'm
That's
just thinking,
fair.
he's high as hell. So I'm just to Mehmet, why are they staring at each other?
Mehmet whispers back and says, She does not like to have her power challenged.
How is he? Are
She
they?
she she thinks Mina's underdeveloped, and although I disagree with her strongly, she does not exactly hold back her opinion. And
At that
Blaine
I'll have like sorry, yeah, finish.
and Blaine just said Mina doesn't need to do anything to look
Yeah,
different.
like at the whole thinking she looks underdeveloped, I'll have like a visible like confused like what? And then I'll say challenge her. Are they going to fight? How is he challenging her?
No, it's hopefully things aren't this tense throughout the entire weekend. That would make things miserable.
Yeah, okay.
I
And then
don't you need to avoid my mom though. She would hate you.
oh,
I
oh, I
just
see.
whisper up and
Oh, I see.
say, like, gently turning my head from the downward position, you see, while they are both nobles, we are in their home, and she clearly holds a certain level of power. I would suggest, for once, following my lead.
That way you're on the floor.
Yes!
Okay, I'll
Mamet
still be standing.
Mamet will say, My father comes from a noble house to the far north. He is part of that emirate. They do not have the same power as the Al-Ivines, so he took her surname, which is almost unheard of here.
This is all completely foreign to Gilrock, this whole like political like names and stuff. He'll just nod like, okay, I think I get it. Some political bullshit. That's what he's thinking. So I'll just be like, okay, and then I'll still be standing because one time said follow his example. I thought he just meant like, okay, just not make too much a spectacle, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll just be like nodding and be like, okay, yeah, I see.
As that's going on, after their tense, scaring contest where everyone is made uncomfortable, Zagrav has an uncomfortable face, Pillin has an uncomfortable face on, Calcorin, even with his broken Elvish, is extremely uncomfortable. Farron's passed out. Babor is busy staring at Farron. Beja will come closer to you, Blaine, and give you a hug.
Oh, she's gonna say some nonsense, isn't she?
Yes, she is.
Yeah.
Do you allow her?
I put out my hands. I'm like, yes, please.
She'll
I don't say yes, please, but I'm like, I embrace the hug fully.
She whispers, "Don't challenge me in front of my own court ever again," with a smile on her face as she'll pull back from you. Step back.
I just say, I respond back in Kana, because I don't imagine she can speak that. I just respond back in Kana. Whatever you say.
She responds back to you in Kana. Try making better estimations of your foes. I speak 17 languages.
I didn't say anything rude. This conversation's going on in Kana. Everyone else is like,
Yeah. I'm visibly confused. Like, why are they now speaking in a different language? And like, Mehmet has become my now go-to because he's like, okay, so he's important, but he's cool. So I'll just be like, why are they suddenly speaking in another language?
That moss is just starting to sweat, realizing that it's reached the peak.
So I'm just very, very like, the fuck's going on?
What? Yeah, go ahead.
Just like thinking, like I thought it was supposed to be like a party. Like, why are they suddenly speaking?
Beja will smile at you and say, "No, it wasn't rude, but she's my daughter, and you know what you implied. You're going to be part of this family, and that comes with certain expectations. Now,
my lady, the only thing I implied was my personal view of your daughter. You have your view, and I have mine. And I still just smile at her. Again, I'm not saying anything that would actually be offensive.
yeah,
I'm
Everyone
keeping it
else,
very subjective.
yeah, don't worry, he's keeping it very subjective, but everyone else in like a solid 15-foot radius, it feels like they're sitting in treacle.
she'll just kind of nod slowly, and she'll look over to Akarsi and kind of just go and switch back into Elvish and say, "See to our guests and send them to the Inquisitor, Hakin, when they have decided what they're going to do. We're going to need to send them to the feast room. Much to do, much to do." And Mina, no more sweet rolls, I can tell you, 8-1.
Does she fully leave, like,
Yes.
full view?
Yeah.
I return to full standing, turn to Gilrook, place both hands on either shoulder, look him in the eye, and I haven't hit a truly serious note with him before, but I look at him and say, now, you must understand, certain people are capable of causing our deaths at a mere whim. Now, I am not saying under any circumstances, glancing back and forth, that that is what these people shall do. But be aware, we are not in a position to do anything against their wills. We are lucky to travel with 2 emirs. If that was not the case, neither of us would remain standing at this moment.
One vizier, one emir.
Yeah,
Uh,
one
uh,
is one.
Are you saying that loud enough for Mehmet to hear?
Yeah. Honestly, I think I am. I'm trying to get this very clearly across to Gilrock, so I don't think I'm trying to hide it very much.
Mehmet stares at you and kind of like, that's not how it works. I can't just say I want to kill you and you're dead. You'd have to insult me.
I think I turn to him genuinely slightly shocked and cock my head slightly. Oh. Well. In which case, and turn back to Gilrock, they're quite the more powerful than us. I possibly would suggest listening to, the person more in tune to it than I am, but from what I know, step out of line and expect your blood on the ground. So, it seems to vary between places, and I'm just gonna go and, like, hide behind Gilrock.
To that, like Gilroy will like think and like kind of chew on the what he was just said, and then kind of like be like shrug like okay, so don't insult people, I guess.
Yes, very much so.
So don't be myself is what you're saying.
Try to play
Don't be
into the
me.
role of storyteller, music man, and entertainer. Your jokes can easily be passed off, but do not say anything out of line.
Mehmet places a hand on your shoulder and says, no. Be yourself so long as it's not around my mother.
I step slightly back around Gilrock. Ah, well, good to know. Thank you for the enlightenment, my good sir.
Or, I mean, you can be yourself around my father, but he rolls his eyes. My father doesn't respect me.
Ah,
Yeah, I'll give him I'll give him a look like yeah, kind of confused because in Gilrock's head, if you like, a family should just love you no matter what. So, because he didn't have one himself, so he'll just be very confused by this whole situation. Uh,
I want
and
to.
in his
I,
head,
I
just
want.
quickly, yeah,
I want to be clear. Akarsi, just because Akarsi's harsh does not mean he does not love Mehmet. Just so you're aware,
yeah. It's just
Yeah.
from what Gilrock's seen, he's just seen someone cuss out like their son, and then someone cuss out their daughter, and not have the image of what a family it looks like in his head. Kind of,
Damos is
if
just
you get what I mean,
Yes.
and then in his head he's just thinking, so if you're powerful, you can be a bitch. Okay,
Damos
cool.
is just biting.
That's in his head,
my
by the way.
lips.
Okay.
I'm just quickly. He's not saying that out loud. He's just thinking that in his head. Just like, okay, so you can be mean to people if you're powerful. Okay.
Mina is currently running laps around the courtyard, Blaine. What are you doing?
How far is around the courtyard? Is she running past people, or is it very far away from
Well,
everyone?
Blaine approached her, so she's right here just for convenience.
Cool.
Is it like is she moving in like the same pattern over and over?
Yeah, she goes. So zoom out on the map. You see how there's a big rectangle. She is completing that circuit.
The grass rectangle around the
Oh, the
I guess,
the sandstone, the
Oh.
sandstone
Like this.
rectangle. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, can I just step in front of her as she's like running?
Yeah, she'll start jogging in place, breathing heavily. Yes. What do you need?
I just put like both hands on her shoulders. She's gone. You can stop now.
She'll look at you, look back, and then look at you again and say, "But she's right. I need to fit into the dress. I. What if that sweet roll is going to make the difference between me fitting and not fitting?"
I mean, if we've been engaged in combat for about 14 hours straight, like over this period of time that has happened, you've probably lost around 5,400 calories, if not more, in the last 48 hours. You eating one sweet roll is not going to do anything. You are already slim. You look great. I, I send a message. Your mother is wrong. Plain wrong.
My mother, she kind of responds out loud, stammering a bit. My mother isn't always the best at phrasing things, but
I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. In this case, she is just plain wrong. You can take it for what you will, but I am telling you, she is wrong. And I fully disagree with what she told you. I played the nice diplomat, but now she's not here anymore, and I fully disagree with what she told you. She is wrong.
I. She is like struggling for words. Can you just let me finish the laps, please? I don't want her to get angry. Hello?
I'll let you. I'll let. Like Blaine just takes like a deep breath and kind of sighs. If you want to finish the laps, you do that. But
If they
no,
stay
I,
stood
I
for longer than 30 seconds or so, especially with Blaine not saying something and Mina responding, I will break away from the finished conversation and begin to approach clearly, showing that I am stepping forward with purpose, not slowly or quickly, but with a certain power.
mean, if you want to do the laps, you can do the laps. I'm not going to stop you there. But if you're doing this just because otherwise your mum is going to get mad at you, you're doing it for the wrong reason.
She's not just gonna get mad at me, she's gonna get mad at my dad, and she'll get mad at Laren, and she'll get mad at everyone, and she'll get mad at the servants, and she'll get mad at the city. She'll just be mad.
And I step into the conversation.
Yep.
Yes, this is not a good time. Well, is this something important?
My apologies, my lord. My lady, how many laps were you designated to do by your gracious mother?
9.
Congratulations! Very well done on completing the 9 laps so quickly. It truly is an astounding feat to achieve so much so fast. As I turn to the remainder of the group, the dragons included, and much louder say, "Everybody, a hand for the young princess, lord of the land, soon to be married, completing her laps so quickly as her mother entrusted," and begin to clap out loud.
Ty raises an eyebrow and is about to speak.
Can I do I guess like either
Gilor starts clapping.
performance or perception?
Well, Ty knows she has not done 9 laps.
Yeah, can I shoot a message to Ty? Like I point at
Yes.
him, like almost accusingly, and I'm like I'm basically hiding it behind Moss. I'm just like, you be quiet. Like I can see him about to speak.
I'm confused. Back in your mind, because he has telepathy.
Yeah,
But she didn't run 9 laps. She's only done 2.
we are committing what is called a lie. So
Shall
clap.
I do deception or persuasion, DM?
Most people just don't care. You can see her father just clap like he does not give a shit. He's like, "Woo! Go,
Yeah,
yeah."
yeah, I'm like hopping on my goat legs, just be like,
Yeah,
holy shit, that was so good,
yeah.
I'll do
so fast.
persuasion because I believe the majority here are not against her. So,
I'll give you the help action.
oh, thank fuck for that. Ooh,
Come on, roll something better.
11.
Well, almost
I'm a
everyone's
10.
already on her side. The only person you see with like kind of a frown on his face is Iscorial, who kind of has like a bit of a sideways grimace.
I clap loudly and applaud her incredible feats, and then drop to a knee and say, "It is truly an honor to serve both you and your newly to be wed husband in such close quarters," as I stand back to full height. Well, now that you have completed what has been asked of by the great lady of this household, I believe you are able to take a rest, and I shall leave you and good sir, turning to Blaine, to whatever you wish to do, as I step back away, still facing them in very noble fashion.
Iscorial is going to step forward and look at both of you. He has his forearms folded over his chest. So,
Sorry, I ran off on you last time. The gods came calling.
he gives you a genuine smile and says, "I am glad you're safe, but I'm concerned about the precedent you're setting here. My mother is a woman who takes her job very seriously, and that includes parenting. He kind of stumbles a
Iscorial,
bit.
I bless your mother's heart fully, and I am sure that she is a wonderful woman in all aspects.
Iscorial raises a hand to stop you and says, "My mother is a wonderful woman in many aspects. She is not perfect as any mortal is bound to be. Her treatment of Mina leaves things to be desired, but do you think this is sustainable? You're here for more than 2 weeks."
I do not intend to clash with your mother. That is not what I will do. But, Iscorial, I am telling you, if, and I look at Mina, and I wave so she comes closer as well, and I gather the two of them here. If she chooses, and I point at Mina, if she chooses after we have left here again, and everything else has been set in motion, and later on down the line, that she does not wish to return to Intis, I will not prevent that. And I just look at him. Like, I'm not going to say any more than that, but I think he gets what I'm implying.
You can't be serious. He actually seems upset by that. I'm the heir to the throne here, and when my mother he kind of seems to get a bit angry, actually, as you say that.
Iscorial, I look at Mina. I'm sure that she would like to visit you. I will not speak out loud what I am implying, but you know what I'm saying if you really think about it.
He points a finger at you and he says, Mother loves all of us, even if she doesn't have the best way of showing it. And I am glad you are safe, and I am glad you are treating my sister well. But for the love of Jaimar, or the love of Sultana, do not antagonize her unnecessarily. Get on her good side. Find a way to make her treat Mina better. It's only been since she's a teenager that she's acted like this. But
Escorial, I actually look at Mina. What do you think of this? I want your personal opinion. Do you want me to get on her good side, or what do you want me to do?
Mina looks like she's about to cry, actually. She's kind of hiding her face a bit.
She's not going to respond to what I'm saying.
I don't know what I want,
Yeah.
okay?
You're
She,
fine.
she'll turn her
I-
face away and tears start coming down her cheeks. I wish she was nice to me like she used to be. She like grabs her stomach area and is like, feel so ugly.
I literally just look at his choreo with like a pointed look, saying like that's essentially conveying, oh, she loves everyone, but just has a bad way of showing it. Like that, this is mental abuse. She's yeah. I look at his choreo and I just as I like, will she allow me to put like a hand around her, or like sorry, an arm around her? And, like I
Yes.
comfort her by like rubbing the side of her shoulder. Escorial, I'm not gonna pretend that I'm some expert on Tierney's on how to raise Tierney's kids, but where I'm from, in Kalia, if my mother or my father had talked to me in that way, I would not have spoken to them now. I would have left my home and never looked back.
Escorial will put a hand on Mina's shoulder, and he'll look at you and he says, "We don't work like that. Blood is thicker than water."
Yeah. Only the opposite is how I feel. Water is thicker than blood, and just because they're your family does not mean that you have to sacrifice everything to keep that peace.
I don't want to speak for what you've experienced because I do not know. You are a hero, and you did great things in Elisir. But I will politely ask, and this isn't just for my sake, but for hers as well, do not do anything that would try to ruin my family.
I am not gonna lift a finger in that regard. I think you fully misunderstand me, Escorial. I do not intend on being a nuisance, if that's what you wish to call it. All I'm doing is presenting your sister with a choice. And she does not have to make it now or ever. But it should be a choice that is available to her.
He'll just shake his head and walk off as he looks over to Mina, and will rejoin kind of up here where he'll start playing, like picking some flowers.
Me Mehmet, and Akasi just vibing over here
Yes.
right now. We're just chilling.
And
Yeah.
I have returned to you guys as of doing my best to interject.
Yeah, I just, like, I rub with the bridge of my nose. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to get heated with your brother.
They're all different, okay? Laren, I think you'll get along with him the best. He's more of a free spirit. Scorial left to go save people far to the south of here, and he is as careful about the family image as my mom is, but he is more gentle.
I can. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Nothing. It's I don't know why she's so angry at me all the time. I don't know why Dad's so angry at Mehmet all the time. We're like the outcasts.
Can I like lead her away a little bit?
Yes.
So like we're not in earshot of everyone. Mina, I have an idea of why that is, at least in regards to you and your mother. But I'm not going to tell you what it is unless you explicitly say you want to hear it, because it might be unpleasant to hear.
What could it be? I want to fix the problem. I want to have a good relationship again.
I just look at her. Do you want to hear? Do you want to hear what I think it might be?
Blaine, yes.
I think it's jealousy, and it is trying to live through you in a way. I think she's jealous that she's no longer as young as she used to be. And I think in a truly terrible way, she's trying to live through you and trying to push you towards the things that she felt she never accomplished. Which, first off, she shouldn't do. But if one decides to do that, the way that she's going about it is not healthy. I saw how you clutched your stomach after your mum told you to run around the barracks. If you think about it, is that how you want to feel every time you see her clutching your stomach, almost feeling a bit embarrassed?
Well, no, of course not. I want to feel good when I'm with her, but she's always so busy, and
I think I'll gladly help you with it. I promise I'll do everything to help you with it, but I think you need to confront her about it, one-on-one, not where there's other people, because then she has a public image to keep the precedence of, but I think you need to corner her one-on-one and have a serious chat about it and stand by your beliefs, even though she might try to cut you down verbally.
okay.
She seems to, I haven't spoken a whole lot to her, but she seems to me a woman that respects strength, either strength of the mind or physical strength for that matter. But if you don't stand by what you say, she's gonna have a hard time taking what you say seriously. That's at least my opinion.
All right. I think I'm gonna head to my room. Sorry, I
You're
wish
fine.
we could spend more time, but I'm not feeling the best.
I can come by later, or I'll see you at the feast.
We're sharing a room, silly.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like,
Yes.
do you want me to come by later, or do you want me to first see you at the feast?
Up to you.
Alright.
Zoom in.
Yeah, I just shrug and walk back to the rest. I kind of want to, like, what is this one vampire doing here? That's what I'm kind of curious about.
They were collecting blood for you, wasn't it?
No, that is not why he
Uh,
is here, but
okay.
they did hire people to do that.
Okay.
But first we are going to cut over to Gilrock, Mehmet, Akarsi, and Dampmoss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how tall is Akasi?
7 feet.
7 feet. So I'm just like looking way up.
How tall are you, Gilrock?
I'm like 5'4" or something. I'm pretty
Oh,
sure.
you are the smallest then, because I'm 5'8".
Oh no, I'm a little bit taller than you, so it's something like that. So, but still pretty quite a little head above me. So I'm just looking up and the whole armor and stuff. So, and again, just being like, it looks pretty heavy, man.
I am a paladin of Jaimar's will, he says as he flexes his muscles. And then smiles.
Gilrock will flex his non-existent muscles back, just having like the slightest of just being active. And I am a bard of myself.
You're funny, you know that?
Oh, stop it.
But yeah, I fight monsters. That is something I've always been good at. I am quite capable of downing a Garistro. In fact, a few weeks ago, before you guys got here, I was in Illicir during the incursion. And I killed one with my bare hands, he says as he grips his hands together. In fact, I got myself a bit of a souvenir. And he pulls out a demonic horn from his pocket.
Wow. Not bad.
It is nothing for a member of the Akni Jahask. Those of the fire soldiers will always be Natir's greatest line of defense against the dark and tenebrous.
I see. Dampmoss here has a pet alligator.
Oh, really? That's quite fascinating. It would be great if there were other members of this family who could have passed their entrance exams into the military. Coughs.
Well, you see, I personally have not entered any sort of military power. I have a certain level of magical prowess, but it was honed over many years of self-practice, and though Gilrock jests, I do not myself have a pet alligator so much as one that lives near my home that I have reached a certain mutual understanding with.
You've named her, you feed her, that would it doesn't eat you whenever she sees you. I would say that qualifies as a pet. And also, come on, you don't have to hold back. You don't have a little prowess. You made an entire thunderstorm the other day. I would say you're more than a little prowess when it comes to magic. It's more than I can do.
So you should
know that many of my spells are still theoretic. Yes, my liege.
You know that many of my spells are finish your sentence first.
Theoretical.
Yeah. He'll come up to you and slap you hard on the back, like man to man.
That's like that's like 2
yes.
damage, definitely.
You should talk to my son, Escorial. He is one of the best druids in the land. Amazing skill. He trained Mina in what she knows. They are both just amazing at what they do.
Mina.
Indeed.
Well, indeed. I would very much like to have a conversation with him. I witnessed Mina herself, your daughter, performing a fantastical spell, drawing the moonlight from the sky to smite an enemy. I very much wish to partake of such magics my own self. I've theorized over many years of how I'd achieve such a thing, but never quite been able to put it into practice.
Well, you need to draw upon the power of Sultana. I mean, all druids kind of go down different paths. My son and daughter are both inclined towards the ice and the snow and, whatever. Whereas he says as he picks up from the ground a bright gold scimitar and he taps it, where it bursts out with daylight. I get my power from the sun god Jaimar, whose son is in this room right now, and I am very excited.
Very much so. I have personally had the pleasure of spending at least a few good weeks with him myself, and, well, if I must say, the wings are particularly enticing, but I draw my own druidic strength from the earth itself. I seem to have a sort of close relationship with the ground and a sort of wish for the sky, which seems to lend itself to my magics, and, well, as of very recently, it seems, as a small amount of electrical energy trickles between my fingers and now slightly down my wrist, it appears that I have been given the boon of a great dragon. So perhaps that will come in handy, as a slight grin begins to stretch across the face.
Yeah, I saw Almavaline. He gave you quite a scare, he says, slapping you on the back again.
Oh, that's another detail. Yep, there we go.
For that I would yeah I was gonna say, oh yeah, you should have seen it, and then I'll make you as a cantrip a minor illusion of kind of like cartoonish of Dampmos just getting fried and like landing on the ground. It'd be like, yeah, it was pretty like I was a bit scared because I thought he just killed him, but it would turn out to be good. So it was pretty funny.
Go ahead.
So and then I'll just be like, since I myself get my powers from Hyano, so if we're just talking gods here, I guess.
And like, when you in Detmos, as you're mentioning about the wings, Akarsi not quite understanding what you mean, he'll lean and whisper. He'll say, "Although such things are common in the Bloody Delta, I would advise against saying anything about whatever dalliance you may have had, tryst, whatever you like to name it, as the marriage is about to happen."
Common? I understand. Common. I shall hold that closer to the chest.
He nods. A man may take up to 5 wives and a husband, and he'll like click his tongue and do a wink at you. So you'd still be in the running if you so desire.
Well, that is
I'll kick Dampmos' shin.
As you kick
Yeah.
me, I switch mid sentence. Well, that is not in my purview, of course. Giving a slight wink back.
Yeah, and he'll just nod and be like, "But we have more pressing things to get to soon."
Yes, the party.
Yes, the feast.
Of course.
We have vegetable stew, falafel, hummus, tabbouleh, all of it prepared and ready. Although I am afraid our Grand Vizier, he might not be attending. You kind of look over and you see Farron is still passed out. Babur is kind of hugging him tightly, just like his eyes darting back and forth, making sure nobody touches him.
I'm sure the one looking after him shall do a fantastic job.
I find it funny. It's been obvious for me since they came up this way 3 years ago that orc had feelings for the little vizier, but took them this long to figure it out. I don't even know if the tiny tiefling knows.
He has
I
to.
do believe they must by now. It is possibly a issue of, shall we say, overall social standing, but behind closed doors, I'm sure that hasn't stopped them from showing their true feelings. But, if I must
Gossip
say,
at this time?
well, we're about to
Damn.
enter a banquet.
Yeah,
Come
that
on,
is true.
Gilrock.
There's going to
Hey.
be plenty of gossip when we get to the banquet.
Oh, can't
You should
wait.
hear about what the Emir of Kasan is going to have some words for Blaine, but obviously I'm on my stepson's side, so if a fight breaks out, he shadow boxes the air and then laughs.
Oh, I cannot wait to both hear and see. As I think we start to like very very slowly walk forwards, like trying to imitate the group. Okay, we're
Yes.
starting to move along now.
And before we do that, we cut back in time. Blaine, you want to talk to this vampire?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just want to know like what's a vampire doing within palace walls, because he's like the first vampire I've seen actually inside palace walls anywhere since I arrived in Tien.
He'll give you a bow and say, "Ah, Master Kinawe, yes?
Yes, it's a pleasure to meet you, and I give a Kalian bow.
I am Terran's emissary to be present at the dinner before they can arrive on 3 days hence. Octavia and Sal are both very much looking forward to meeting you,
Ugh,
as well as Terran.
it's been so long since I've seen Octavia. How is she? Do tell.
She has done quite well. She is pregnant with...
No, yeah, pregnant?
Oh, has she not told you yet?
I step like right up into his face. You will speak, and you will speak now.
No need for hostility, sir. She is pregnant with twins.
Since when?
Since a month ago, approximately. The announcement has been on hold until they were planning on doing it after your wedding in order to avoid any conflicts.
And she deigned Blaine kind of looks down at the floor as he's like talking to himself, and she deigned not tell me when I contacted her.
My apologies, Master Kanawe. I thought you were aware.
No, it is not your fault. I do not blame you. Do not tell her that I know of this.
He kind of, yeah, you see his face kind of get conflicted as his reddish brown eyes kind of dart back and forth. I will do my best.
I wish to surprise my sister with the fact that I know. No concern of yours. Don't worry. How are the preparations coming along?
Well, the preparations are coming quite well. I believe your parents have been having some issues, though, from last I've heard.
Yeah. I do need to contact them. Haven't really had the opportunity yet. Right. I will leave you to your work.
Well, we are all to attend a feast. The Githyanki, he gestures to the three next to you. The presence here, in order to check on Ty and his progress, is also joining us for this evening.
Yes. Are we to dine right now, or is it first later this evening?
Well, we are to dine within an hour, but I believe he looks over to where Dampmoss and Yorak are starting to move. I believe we are meant to be heading to the banquet hall for early festivities.
That sounds great. And as we walk along, I'll say to him, I pray to Kalia, but can you see if you can get a hold of a barrel of some actual animal blood? Because spider blood is so acidic. Don't you know? You know that feeling? Like the spider blood just it produces this sort of like acidity in the mouth.
He kind of winks at you and says, "All preparations have already been made."
Wonderful. Jesus. I appreciate his hospitality, but clearly, yes, there's still much to learn. Let's go. And I leave him alone.
We are gonna take a quick 10-minute break there. That's all right with everyone.
Yep.
Mhm.
I need to go to the
Sounds
restroom.
Hey.
You're fine.
So we will BRB at 6:20, and then we still have about 40-ish minutes left. We'll see. Hopefully we can get a bit in for the banquet scene, find a good stopping place. But be right back. Not just as like the entire screen looked ridiculous. Hello and welcome back. We are back in the banquet hall. You smell the aroma of a mixture of lemon, coriander, and other traditional spices of Tien. Orange and citrus lay strongly in the air. You see several tieflings which resemble the noble families, 2 additional brothers, and a few sisters sitting at various tables at and around the area. At the head, you see the members of the Al-Ivine estate who were present earlier, taking the main chairs. Ascarsi and his wife Beja are at top with Escorial next to them, an empty chair, Mina, in a beautiful, lavish, sumptuous gown, and Mehmet next to her in a suit.
You also see, for the first time ever, Damp Moss sat in a near slicked back haircut, though the hair too long, draping slightly down below the shoulders of the new suit and full dress clothes that he is wearing for the situation given to him graciously by Blaine in a quick trip to his room before entering the hall. As he turns and slightly huddled next to Gilrock, they both begin to sip from his hip flask to calm the nerves before the true banquet gets underway, though Damp Moss taking but a few sips versus Gilrock's few chugs. They both seem to be at the same level.
Yeah, I can also add a detail. This jug is just alcohol this time, considering the warning, and a few sips is the same to Gilrock. A few sips from Damos is the same to Gilrock as a few chugs. So not really having much effect. Gilrock as well was rushed by Blaine into a fitting room to get a bit more dressed up. There he had been was given clothes because he refused to be fitted by any sort of workers or any sort of things like that. And you see him wearing very like official fancy clothes, but it's not put on correctly. The what's it called, the thing by the neck of a shirt? What's that called again?
The collar?
Yeah, the collar might be a bit like not entirely correct. Maybe the shirt's not into the pants. He's not really digging the fact that he's wearing pants. But yeah, it's like halfway official, but you can tell this is not something he wears usually, so it doesn't look quite right if you look at it too much.
Whereas Damp Moss looks very cleanly dressed, clearly allowed the servants to take part in his dressing, but through his facial expressions is nearly fully afraid and is not comfortable with not being adorned with his usual cloak and hat.
Blaine, what are you wearing?
In a bit of a decision to conform, because he knew he'd be sitting next to Escorial, and he didn't want to argue with him.
You're sitting next to Mina, actually.
Yeah, I know, but like I didn't want to argue across in front of Mina or here at the banquet in any way. You see, Blaine is just wearing like a sort of like dark blue suit almost, but it's like embroidered with like white silverish like glowy linings, so it almost looks like a form of like star map going up along the arms of the suit. And he has his hair like sort of slicked back, and has taken off his jacket, so it's like hanging on the chair, and has rolled up his sleeves to his elbows, so his Kalian tattoos are very like obviously visible.
Below or above the elbows?
Right above. in a sort of a little bit of rebellion in a way, at least in his own personal viewing of rebellion. Like the top button of his shirt is open, where you also get a bit of peek of some of the other tattoos going along, like down the side of his chest. Yeah, otherwise he's sitting a bit rigid, because it's been a while since he's been part of something like this. Essentially, he's been traveling for so long that this feels kind of weird to him again.
Yes. So as you enter, Beja stands up from her chair and will extend her hand rather than her normal black and gold robe. She is wearing a outfit adorned with peacock feathers, shimmering and glimmering within the light of the open window. The outfit appears to be partially made of living vines which enswirl her body and contrasts against her blue, icy skin. And she will gesture the groups forward and says, "Welcome to the first feast of what will be many for the coming few weeks," she says with a smile. "Hopefully we will all manage to find ourselves a bit of enjoyment amongst the libations here tonight. We have some hashish in the corner over by my son Laren and my other son Valorin," and she'll wave to the two of them.
Valorant is sorry, I was thinking of Valorant there for a moment. Laren just kind of raises his hand and does like a single wave as he looks out over the crowd that is here, and is gonna wink at the woman with the pink hair as he's looking over the crowd, like the elf woman, I assume she is.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then she'll say, "We have many distinguished guests here today, including Farron Al-Mansur. Farron, please come and say a few words." "Oh, I would love to," he says as he like practically trips over himself trying to stand up from his booth, hobbling up onto the stage as he is still quite weak. And he like comes up and he says, "Hello, yes, I am Farron Al-Mansur, and it is a pleasure to be here with everyone from all these different cultures and groups represented today. I am very pleased that we will have an excellent meal. Great efforts were taken by our mistress host here to ensure that everyone's comfort was taken into account. Even the vampires have spider blood from a spider that was slain in the catacombs. So please enjoy yourself. I'm just very excited to be here once again in Intis. It's been too long." And he'll give Beja 2 kisses on her cheek, like French type thing, and then we'll smile and say, "May the spice flow, everyone," and he'll raise a glass of Tianese fire wine. Each one has been set in front of each person.
As he raises it, I raise it in cheers to follow his lead and drink as he does.
I just kind of look at Mina and I kind of just I sigh and I pick up the glass and I just whisper, "Here we go again."
Everyone in the room basically is drinking it.
Yeah.
I need con saves from everyone
yeah.
except Gilrock.
Hell yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
fuck.
okay. Yes. Okay.
6!
Damp Moss, you trippin'. In front of you, you have a representative of a race that you've never seen before.
The person directly opposite me?
Yeah, it's a little starfish dude.
Do I see him as Moss?
Yeah, you're I want you to roll me a d10.
Ooh,
He
okay.
He doesn't even need drugs to look at this thing. Like, what the fuck even is that?
It's a
Okay,
starfish
my
person.
D10. 7.
You are currently under the suspicion that right here, right now, Lolth is in this room. You don't know who it is, but you're 100% confident she's here.
And I'm sat opposite a living starfish with
Yes.
multiple eyes.
Yep, 5 eyes to be exact.
Okay. Given the fact that we were in an official situation and the lady of the manor is stood at the head giving a speech who has delegated it to a fellow noble to continue the speech, I think I push so closely into Gilrock that he's slightly afraid I'm trying to push him further down the table.
Nah, I know what it looks like when you drank something you probably couldn't handle.
In fact, last time we had this exact same drink, you witnessed me go nuts. I think
Yeah.
you were prepared.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Just yeah, I don't know. My guy saw the drink and was like on his way to say to them like just give it to me, but then he just took it and I was just like oh no.
Mm-hmm.
A female tiefling who looks similar in a lot of ways to Iscorial, except her eyes are bright yellow, will scooch closer behind both of you and says, "Do you have room for a third?"
Yeah,
I
sure.
immediately whip my head backwards as Gilrock says, yeah, sure, and say, who's your allegiance to? But my eyes are darting back and forth throughout the room. I'm not even truly looking at her.
Never
Don't
mind.
don't mind. Sorry, don't mind him. He can't handle his liquor. I say as she like scoots down.
At the head of the room, Beja says, "We are here today to celebrate a great accomplishment, a marrying of two noble houses. I would like to welcome my new son-in-law, Blaine Kanawe, the first vampire to join into the joint crown of Tien." Everyone stands up and begins applauding.
I stand up and I do like a very official looking bow in the Kalian fashion, and I look towards Beja and smile. And I'm gonna take one step out from the table. I'm not gonna like walk up to the podium because it doesn't seem like she's finished talking. But I will speak at Beja. Thank you, my dear mother-in-law. The welcome here has been absolutely exquisite, and I look forward to the next few weeks of festivities. I shall present you with a show that you will not forget as I look out over the crowd. And I just smile back at Beja and I sit back down.
She'll raise an eyebrow, but trying to seem unperturbed. She'll stand and continue. However, as she moves to continue, a loud thud echoes on the roof.
Like boom or like a like an arrow.
Boom.
And you say I suspect that Lolth is within this vicinity.
Yep.
Then I push closer into Gilrock and say, shh, she's here.
Sweetie, you would know if I was here.
Oh yeah, I hit my head into the table while just I fold into a ball basically.
Some of the dignitaries gasp as
Yeah.
the noise is louder again. This time something punctures through the roof. It's not that size. Let me make an adjustment real quick. That's stupid. There we go.
Aha.
As you see a giant face of an elemental rain forward. And it howls in primordial. Does anyone speak primordial? besides Farron. Um, it's time for murder, and that is where we're gonna have to call it for today.
Goddamn.
Big
Okay.
cliffhanger.
We are prepared for a battle next session, it seems.
For a slaughter.
And we're
Well,
low
yeah.
on health, everyone.
And low on spell slots,
By the way,
too.
this is what this thing looks like. It's so over the top. I love it. I had to use it.
Oh, that's amazing. Look at the
Looks-
trail on it.
It's
I don't know
called
why.
it's called a murder comet.
A murder comment. Oh wow. Oh wow.
That's fucking
Very subtle with the
incredible.
naming.
The Gith will look on it with recognition, but none of you recognize it. But yeah, that is where we are going to call it for today's session because I do have to go to a family gathering. But
Of course.
I want to say thank you to our lovely viewers and thank you to
Yes,
my
thank you.
yes, thank you to my lovely players. And I would like to put out a particular thanks to all the artists who make Nightmares Incarnate, a Conspiracy of Demons possible, including Garioth, Principles 212, Ivan Dudar, Caribou, Easy Menendez, Angela New Year Weave, as well as several others. I list them all at the end of each video. Sometimes I get them, sometimes I don't get them all, but I try my best. It's a long list, but they make this show possible for the high quality of art you see, and of course, 2 Minute Tabletop for some of these maps, and Incarnate for allowing me to make my own maps. And that will be all for episode 13. And we will pick back up.
Thank you to the DM, Permeating Dusk, for a fantastic session. And on top of his own thanks, thank you to all the artists for allowing me to play in such a good campaign.
Yes.
Yes. All right. See you later, everyone.
See you later.